bend play, an inside type play, and the stretch play is an outside type play. We'll use zone blocking on all of these. I'm going to talk about the bend play first, or the inside type run. Two starting points is, number one, am I covered or am I uncovered? Let's talk about being covered first. Play's coming to my side. I'm a play side covered lineman. I want to use my first step, which we term a set step. I've already got it dropped because of my stance. This being a right-handed stance, if you're on the left side, apply it to a left-sided stance. I want a set step. I want to pick it up and put it down. All I'm doing is adjusting my weight or shifting my weight by taking this stance or this step. My second step, okay, which we have already talked about, getting it down and getting it through the defender, is important. On the inside play, on the bend play, I want to get my second step inside of his inside foot, okay? I want to step to and through. That's important. I step to and through the defender. I am not brushing him. I am trying to rip my inside arm through him. Second step goes through him. Now, my third step squares me up. We don't want to have our shoulders turned to the sideline. We don't want to be at an angle to the sideline. We want to have our shoulders as square as we can as we go through this man. Okay? Now, I'm going to be in combination with the guard, but initially I'm thinking I'm going to take this man. I'm going to take this man. If he works out across my face, I'm going to take him. My one hand that is inside him is going to turn to two hands inside of him, and I'm going to press him upfield. I'm going to press him upfield. I am not concerned with blocking a linebacker. I'm going to walk this man back to the linebacker. Now, if the man is aligned head up on me, I still take the same footwork. I'm going to take a set step. My second step still goes inside of his inside foot, and my target is tighter. He's a tighter alignment, so my target is tighter. I'm still going to go through him and press him upfield. If he is aligned inside of me, I don't need to see what he's going to do by taking a set step with my outside foot. Okay? I'm going to take a short step with my inside. Second step is going to be my outside foot. So if he is inside of me, I'm going to use inside footwork. If he's aligned head up on me, I'm going to use outside footwork, second step with my inside. If he's lined outside of me, I'm going to use outside footwork, second step is with my inside. That is if I'm covered. This can be applied to the guard. This can be applied to the center. This can be applied to the tackle. Now, the hardest person that I'm going to have to block is not a man that angles one way or the other. That is an easy read. It's very defined. The hardest person that I'm going to have to block is the person that hangs right on my backside shoulder and tries to flatten down the line or go to the play with me. He doesn't take a side. He's hanging on my backside shoulder, in other words. This is why it's important, after I take my set step, that my second step goes through this man. I want to go through him and push him up to the next level with the help of the guard. Uncovered. Uncovered. I've got a linebacker over me. All right? Now, even though I'm in a right or left-handed stance and my foot is back, I can take a deeper set step or a drop step. If I'm covered, it's going to be a set step. If I'm uncovered, it's going to be a drop step. Now, because I'm not getting a fast pressure or resistance on me, I can take a deeper step. My second step goes to the hip of the next adjacent man. Now, what do I do with my hands? My hand shoots out to the hip of the next man. All right, I want to press that, and I will eyeball this linebacker, but I am thinking block the down man. I'm not worried about the linebacker at this point. Okay, so let me just go over the footwork again. I'm going to take a drop step. Second step, I'm going to go to the hip, and I want my shoulders square when I make contact here. I don't want to turn my shoulders to the sideline. If I turn my shoulders to the sideline and the linebacker comes to me, I'm ineffective as far as coming off and blocking the linebacker. So, keeping my shoulders square, one arm bench press into the man with the tackle. We'll be pushing the defensive tackle or the defensive man back, eyeballing the linebacker. Now, the linebacker is going to tell me what to do. If he comes to me, I go to him. If the linebacker flows over the top to either a stack or an overflow position, we want to block the defensive tackle back into the linebacker, pressing him back. That is the number one concern we have. All right, if I'm an uncovered center and the guard is covered, we will be in combination. Center's going to take a bigger drop step because he's uncovered. I'm going to one-arm bench, work with my guard, movement on the defensive tackle, and eyeball the linebacker. If the tackle is uncovered and the tight end on or off the ball are in combination, he can take a bigger drop step, one-arm bench, and eyeball the linebacker to work in combination.
In understanding zone blocking, you've got to understand your area. The area can have a down lineman in it, or a linebacker, or a combination of both. My area goes from my inside, in this case, right guard's inside, to the right guard's outside gap. Anyone in that area must be blocked. Center and right guard will be zone blocking a down lineman and a linebacker. Right guard's using a one-arm bench press while the center takes on the down lineman with two hands. Getting movement on the down man is still the key. The linebacker will tell the right guard what to do. The left guard is still going to use a zone principle even with the linebacker walked up on the line of scrimmage. Left guard, go through your footwork, down lineman, one hand bench, zone the linebacker. Left guard and center, still go through your zone blocking, one arm bench, left guard, eyeball the linebacker, right guard and right tackle. We will talk about the backside later. Right guard and center can use four hands.
In going over this again and fine-tuning this, tackle, taking a set step, my second step, inside of the defensive man's inside foot. Guard is going to take a drop step, and I'm going to step to the hip, trying to keep my shoulders square. I'm going to use one arm to bench him. I can't involve my other hand or it's going to turn my shoulders into the defensive man. I want to stay as square as I can, as long as I can. I want to stay as square as I can, as long as I can, as we force or push or muscle the defensive tackle back off the line of scrimmage. That is very important. It is crucial to our success that we control the line of scrimmage by pushing him back off. The linebacker will tell me what to do with my second hand. If he comes to me, naturally I go to him and I use two hands to punch. My hands are inside of him, elbows tight to my side. If he goes over the top or goes to the stack position, a rule of thumb is I go through the down man to get to the linebacker. I go through the down man. So now, when my one arm is involved and he goes over the top, now I can put my second hand on the man and push with two hands rather than just one. And I want to cover the defensive man up. I don't want to be off to one side or the other. I want to cover the defensive man up to get a push through the man. outside play or the stretch play, his landmarks are a little different. The covered man is still going to take his set step. He's already in a drop position. He's going to pick it up and put it down. And now his second step is going to go inside the far foot. He's going to take a little wider course and try and rip his backside arm through the man. Covered, head up, the head up. He's still going to take a set step and rip his arm and step to a inside to outside foot position. He's going to try and rip through the man. He's not avoiding him. He's not going outside. If he's inside, we're still going to do a short punch, step, and rip through, just to ensure this guy so he doesn't take off and beat us inside. Okay? If I'm uncovered, I'm going to take a deeper drop. I'm going to take a drop step, and I want to step and look at the far hip. I don't want to settle for the inside hip now. I want to try and get my eyes through the man and rip my backside through the man. This is an outside type play. It's more of a stretch play. The tackle, the covered tackle is taking a little wider course. I want to take a little wider course or a bigger course. Okay? Take a bigger course. It should look like a double team, and I want to push the tackle off the block. So the tackle is not avoiding him on his rip. The tackle is going to rip through him. They're going to be working in. And as I come through my area, I want to push and get him outside. We are not as concerned with a run-through linebacker behind us on this play as we were concerned with a run-through linebacker on the bend play. Okay, and we'll have an opportunity to react to him. If this guy gets immediate width, we will be here looking at this linebacker and turn back to block him. But the main thrust is to push this guy off the line of scrimmage and force the linebacker to take a deeper course of pursuit.
The backside zone is equally as important as the front side zone. The left guard and left tackle here piggyback each other to block their area. The left guard must be taking care of the inside while the left tackle is taking care of his inside. Backside people must drop and go through their area. If no one appears in your area, keep going up to the next level as the left tackle is to block his area. The man on the guard here could come back inside. Everyone drop, go through your area. Drop and go through your area to lock on to whoever you come in contact with. Lock on and push them past your area so the back can cut off your block.
Let's say the tackle and the H are blocking the N and the SAM on the outside play, the stretch play. The tackle man is wider. The wider the man, the bigger drop I can take. The wider the man, the deeper or bigger drop I can take to get to this man here. The tight end, or the H, is going to help me push the man. But like we used with the guard before, when I'm uncovered and the linebacker's behind him or close to him, I want to go through the man to get to my linebacker. That'll put you on the right course. I don't want to take a brush or any side or anything. I want to go right through the man to take him and block him. The tight end, or the H, is going to help me to square up. Initially, I'm going to be at a slight angle when I contact this man because of his width. I can't be real square on him. But as he pushes, I'm going to work upfield to stay on him and to square up. Okay? Guard with a man outside of you, a 3 technique or a Y technique. I can take a little bigger set step to try and rip through his outside. I'm going to try and put my inside foot inside of his outside foot. That gives me a little wider target. I'm still going through the man, but it gives me a little wider target than when I aim for the inside foot. Center, you're uncovered. You can drop now with a man wide on the guard. You will likely get off onto the linebacker. I want to intersect him. I want to go to a junction point to block that linebacker. I don't want to take one step and come up like that to block him. I want to take an angle because the play is going to the outside. I want to take an angle to meet the linebacker behind the defensive tackle. And if I take the proper angle, that's where I'll be. The offside or backside, we're not going to use the term cut-off block. We don't want to cut the man off. We're going to block him off the line of scrimmage. If we're talking to the left side and we're running a play to the right, I've got my right foot up, so now I have to drop this foot. I have to take a drop step with my up foot, and I have to rip my second step through. I have to rip my second step through the man. So up foot, I'm going to take a drop. Second step, once again, get it down fast, and I want to rip my backside arm through the inside of the defensive tackle, the defensive man. I want to rip it through him. I want to get my ear hole to his ear hole. My ear hole to his ear hole. So what I'm saying is it's a tight course. It's not a position block. It's blocking him through. We want to force the defensive man back at that angle. We don't want him to flatten us down the line and pursue down the line. So we've got to rip the backside arm and go through the inside. Looking to the offside again, and specifically versus a look like this, where the center and the guard are going to be in combination. The backside tackle now has a man lined up on his inside. He knows he's coming inside because of the alignment of the man on his outside. I'm still going to take my drop, and I'm going to rip my inside, my outside through his inside. I want to take him and flatten him down the line of scrimmage like that. In essence, I'm going to give a little ground to gain some ground on my second step, taking this arm and forcing him through. Now, we talk of ripping my backside arm, which is a one-arm type of movement. If he crosses my face, one arm will go to two, and I'll push him down the line. If when I'm coming up to the line of scrimmage and the defensive man aligns to my outside, configuration like that, I'm still going to take my footwork to try and rip through his inside. I'm going to drop and rip. All right? Now, if I get even with him, I get through, I want to use the butt block technique. I want to stay square. The worst thing that can happen to you on a butt block is that your angle is facing like that. Now the defensive man can come right around you. By taking the second step and ripping through the man and ripping your shoulder through the man to stay square on the man, then the butt block is an effective way of blocking with my base right through here. So I can't get pushed down to constrict any kind of cutback or to constrict any kind of any play coming off the backside. If I get to this point here and I feel him pressuring back into me, I feel him leaning into me, I will use the butt block. I want to widen my feet and shorten my steps. I want to widen and shorten. That'll sink my center of gravity by widening and shortening my steps. If I feel that this man is not in pressure on me, I don't feel any pressure once I've achieved my inside position, and he is a true contained man, then I can turn to high wall him. So you've got two things that could happen to you on the backside. One, the man is coming across my face. One, the man's aligned inside of me. It's pressure. I want to cut him off, rip my arm through, get ear hole to ear hole. Secondly, this man is going to come over the top. He's not going to be a concern of mine. I'm going to get inside of here to cut this man off, and I'm not going to let him just pursue down the line or come off my butt. I've got two things I can do. I can butt block him backwards forwards. I don't want to go sideways. It's forwards or backwards to widen his pursuit or widen the cutback. If I don't feel pressure, inside, then I can turn to high wall him and push him this way. I don't want to high wall him and absorb him. I don't want to absorb him and let him push me back into the cutback lane. So if I use the high wall technique, I want to get into him, get my hands inside, and I want to push on him this way. I want to push him, I want to push him, I want to push him back so he is not constricting me into the cutback lane. Okay? If we are zoning on the backside of a play, a bend play, for instance, the backside tackle and the H, or the tight end, in term of H, will use a zone technique. We're going to zone. So I'm still going to step and rip through. I'm still going to step and rip through. If my tight end is in a zone combination with me, he is going to block the first person off my ass. He's going to block the first person that comes outside of me. I'm going to rip. I don't feel any pressure. I'll continue up to the next level to block the linebacker. Okay? Another different look. The look we could get is if I was covered. There's a man on the line of scrimmage. I'm covered. There's a man on the line of scrimmage. My H is coming across. He's going to block the first person to show outside. I'm going to rip and zone through the first person to show inside. So if he crossed my face, he'd become mine. He'd become the H's. If they ran some kind of stunt here from the line of scrimmage, and he came outside, and he came over the top, I would rip, not feeling any pressure, go up to the second level to block the over-the-top player, and he'd take the person on the backside. Okay? All right, applying that to the center and the guard on the backside, if we have a look where the center and the guard are going to block a nose to backside linebacker. All right? Center is going to use the footwork to ensure the block. He's not going to rip through this man and avoid him. He's going to take a short step. He's going to take a short set step and rip this foot through the man. He's going to rip through the man. I'm going to take a little bit of a drop, and I'm going to aim for the far hip to try and zone this off. He's already in the backside gap. I know what he's going to do. He's going to come through this gap here. I've already seen in my pre-snap alignment that the hip is not there. It's already over there. He's told me that he's come into my gap from that alignment. If on the backside I'm not sure what he's going to do, he's a head up on the nose, on the center. Now I'm going to drop and I'm going to one-arm bench. I'm going to one-arm bench that hip and go through it. Linebacker goes over the top. You'll probably be working to me. I'll go through that. Okay? On the backside. If he jumps to a stack position and he gives me the hang on the back, center's ripping through, the center's going to take him up to that next level. I'm going to do this same thing. He comes to me, he goes over the top, one hand goes to two hands, and we're going to push him off the line of scrimmage, coming off late to block the linebacker. Offside, guard and tackle are in a combination. I'm going to take a slight drop, rip through the man with my arm, rip through the man with my second step. I'm going to drop and I'm going to try and rip through the man. I'm going to try and get my eyes on the far target. I'm going to try and get my eyes on the far target. The guard is going to be involved with the man. I'm going to try and go through him to push the guard off. It is not a brush block. My guard is not going to leave me out in space by myself. He is dropping, stepping through. I am dropping and ripping through this man to take it over. I want to take the block over and push the guard up to this level. Now, guards or a man that is coming off to block the next level. Like we said onside, uncovered. You are running through him to get on a junction to block this linebacker. You are not going up to block him here. You're going to where the linebacker is going to be, and you will intersect him at the junction and take him by the plate. Getting my hands inside, punching him, elbows tight, all the things we talked about at the beginning. I'm going to take this man by the plate. I want to get my eyes on the far hip, and I want to push through him to get his shoulders turned and to take him upfield. Nothing that we do on the offside will have these kind of lines. Nothing we do on the offside will have these kind of lines where the defense man takes us to the ball. We are going to take them to the ball. We're going to take them to the ball. We want to flatten them out and take them back. We don't want them to flatten us out and take us down the line. And it's very important on the back side. So when we get cutbacks, when we get breakbacks, when we get a play that'll have to take it up in there, we are dominating, we are controlling the defensive lineman. They're not controlling us.